Is that why they need more juice? The treasure?
Yeah, they got some kind of laser security system to guard it. Newspaper said it's worth over 30 million. I'd guard it too.
I hate it down here. Whatever idea was to put cable underground on it. What's going on down here?
Welcome to the cleanest sewers you will ever see. They look more like maintenance tunnels, but everyone in the episode will call it the sewers. Just go with it.
It's like somebody's forgetting to change the bulbs. Come on, darling.
You know, there are stories. I heard a couple of guys last month said they saw...
What, do you believe that monster stuff?
Hey, I'm just saying that I heard it.
I suspect your average monster would be a lot more comfortable here. Beats the heck out of a wet, smelly sewer.
Come on, Stan. I'm feeling kind of queasy about it.
If anybody's down there, come on out where we can see you.
The one guy said he was getting queasy and suddenly the air is flammable. There's no question what's really going on down here. A fire monster. I'm going to pause here for just a moment because one thing the creators of this show were really proud of was their opening song. They made a big deal of the fact that it starts with a traditional jazz-type piano-driven tune, but then the viewer rejects that and goes to a hard rock style thus.
Those misfits, misfits of science, ha, ha. Those wild and crazy scientific guys, I love them. Yeah, those misfits. Exactly with your misfit science,
You know what's the biggest difference I can hear? I can tell what the piano guy is saying. The next part, can't catch a word.
science, straight from the heart.
No clue. I think I heard the word science a couple of times and that's it. The backing music is too loud, the microphone is blasting, and she's slurring her words to the point where for me it's meaningless. I don't think this clever theme was the huge success they wanted it to be. That's better music anyway, and we'll learn it's not just filler while we do our city montage behind the opening credits.
Who will a hard-headed woman, soft-hearted man, in the cause of trouble since the world began, ever since the world began,
Elvis made that song famous in his movie King Creole, and it was also released as a hit single. Johnny's a decent musician, but he's no Elvis.
ever since the world began, a hard-headed woman been a thorn in the hide of man. Hey!
Still, he's good enough for her, whoever she is.
Oh yeah!
Plus, he's good enough to get an organ solo out of his guitar. I'm still learning how to do that.
I thought those doctor buddies of yours took care of that juice problem. B-man?
I think it needs a little more insulation. Better go to acoustic.
Have you tried these? But this is a good opportunity to go talk to the mystery girl.
Not again.
Or not. She makes a habit of disappearing before he can get too close to her. Now, he has the ability to run super fast. Why he doesn't use it now, I do not know. Did she go down there? Johnny doesn't know what to think, but he really wants to meet her. You can't blame him. But she seems to have other ideas, so for now he's out of luck. At Humanidine, they're selling tickets to the company picnic. The person who sells the most tickets wins a trip to Hawaii for two. Billy really wants to win that trip.
12 more, Miss Nance. 12 more, but don't worry, there's lots of time. Rita, man.
This man we're pushing, he wouldn't happen to be dead. What, 83?
83.
You sold 83 tickets to the company picnic? Who to?
Friends,
Billy trying to sell more tickets to anybody and everybody will become a running, I think it's supposed to be a gag, but it never really lands. It's more like a running annoyance.
oh, the Invisible Man was here today for x-rays. They came out blank, but we're not sure he was standing in the right spot.
Every time we're at Humanodyne, we try to do the police squad thing. Serious conversation in the foreground, crazy stuff going on in the background. It didn't work for Police Squad in 1982, and it's not working for Misfits of Science in 1985. I reviewed Police Squad a while back, and we learned that that type of humor doesn't work on television like it does in movies. In a movie theater, you're there to watch the movie, period. On television, you're there to watch the show, eat dinner, chase the kids out of the laundry basket, take a pee break, answer the phone. The key to this kind of humor is concentration. It's easy to concentrate on the big screen and catch the little things. Not so much on the small screen with an average household in action. This may be another reason the show failed. Going back to that treasure exhibit, yeah, this episode is going to get really complicated. Humanodyne built the diving bell that the explorer used to find the treasure, and Stetmeyer has been appointed liaison between Humanodyne and the museum. He's afraid flaming mole monsters are going to ruin the party. I wish I was making that up.
Look, I'll tell you what. We'll help you out under 3 conditions, okay? 1 is that you buy a couple picnic tickets.
It's blackmail.
And 2 is that you bring someone else in here who has seen...
Hazel, I think I just saw a girl run into a sewer. Could someone possibly be living underneath the city, or is that too wild?
Hey, Dick, your mole monster has blonde hair and a killer smile. But Billy and company are ready to help you deal with it and protect your party.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Bucher here buys a couple picnic tickets, and we'll call it a deal. I mean, it's crazy. It's $2.50 a piece. That includes the keg rates in the potato sack. It's a crazy
Billy,
town.
I'm sure if Mr. Bucher were interested in raffle tickets, he would certainly buy a ticket. He would certainly...
No, I think a guy here with, $30 million treasure can afford to buy a few tickets.
Mr. Buchner there is the man who found all this treasure. You have to love the way they're talking about him as though he isn't there.
Don't you think?
Do you? You should talk to my accountant. I just spent 8 years and 500 grand to find this stuff. Now the state won't let me sell it. Historical artifact.
That's right. He hasn't seen a single penny out of his discovery and isn't likely to. As quick as he brought it up, the government seized it.
You believe it? All I get is the money I charge to see the treasure and the stupid headaches like this that come from exhibiting it. Flaming mole monsters. Frankly, if I were you blokes, I'd forget it.
Packing and unpacking an exhibit like this to move it from place to place is complex and expensive. I doubt his museum receipts cover all the cost. He may be a little bitter about the whole thing.
You said it was a tunnel, Billy.
It is a tunnel. This is a tunnel.
It's a sewer. I'm not staying.
Hey, Glow, babe, I think you're really limiting yourself here, okay? I mean, just think of this as a new life experience.
Okay. I've seen it. I've smelled it. And I don't need it.
As powerful as Glow is, it's easy to forget she's also an average teenage girl. This is way too icky for her. But when Stetmeyer comes down, she doesn't have an excuse because we all know he's even more of a teenage girl than she is. The Misfits are off to investigate the mole monster.
Thank you, Gloria.
Whoa, Glow. Remind me not to jump out at your surprise party.
Somebody hit a tripwire and made it come down. It's nothing but a dummy, but it does prove someone else has been down here. Let's go find out who it is. We all know who Johnny's hoping for. The air is getting bad and they're having trouble breathing. Elle takes an air sample, but Johnny B doesn't care about that. He's going to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Hey, kid!
Wait a minute.
The foul air is killing him. They have to get him out of there right now. That's why the air is so bad. Those guys are pumping something into it. What is it, and what are they trying to accomplish?
What? Yeah, she's pretty cute. She's probably been watching me. I went over.
Get over yourself, Billy.
What is it with you, huh? Have I got some kind of disease or something?
You play nice music, but you're not in my plans.
Not in your plans. You didn't even know me.
Right.
My name's Johnny.
Johnny Bukowski. Johnny B. Used to play with the Ray-Bans, does a fair Bo Diddley imitation, and now has electrical problems with his amp.
So you know his name and what he does. You don't know him. She finally says her name is Gina, and if he's nice, she'll spend the day with him. Yes, it's time for another terrible cover while we watch them shop for clothes for her and all kinds of stuff. She says she has a party to go to tonight. Johnny feels like he's finally getting somewhere and getting to know this girl. And pardon me, but that organ sounds like a 12-year-old trying to play it for the first time. Maybe they should have gone with a 12-year-old. It might have come out better.
After I ran away from home 7, I figured that was it. The state had their chance, I had to take mine. There was no relationship from then on. Trust went out the window and Gina went solo.
Doesn't it get a little lonely?
Yeah, but you don't get hurt.
She takes the Paul Simon approach to life. I am a rock, I am an island, and a rock feels no pain, and an island never cries.
I'm not here to hurt you.
For just a moment, she's vulnerable and allows herself to share a kiss.
Hey, how about an ice cream sandwich?
Yeah. Okay.
That's her way of saying you're a lousy kisser. A very lousy kisser. He goes back to the band and says, if Hayes calls, I went down into the tunnels to look for Gina. He suspects her dwelling is somewhere near the museum. Someone else is already down there. I can only think of one reason for him to be down there, and it's not a good one.
Gonna need that, mate. How many guards?
10, maybe 12.
Scamper like the rest when the tunnels go.
Here, make sure those valves are all the way open.
They're pumping methane gas into the tunnels. While the party is in full swing, they'll ignite the gas and the tunnels will explode with unbelievable fury. In the confusion that follows, his men will dress like firemen and grab as much of the treasure as they can and get out. But there's something he doesn't realize.
My name is Zach, but don't bother checking it out with Juvie Hall or Foster Homes. I made it up.
I like it. Do you live down there, Zach? Zach, I asked you if you lived down there.
Will you broom the questions? I don't need your help, okay?
Hey, you do need our help if you live down there. Air's bad. Really bad.
Just the last day or so. We can handle it.
Whoops! Little mistake there, Zach. What Buechner doesn't know is there are children living down there and his explosion will kill them. Johnny doesn't know about them either. He's trying to find Gina, but he finds someone else.
Who the hell are you?
Now what do they do with him?
Leave him. Just a minute, Al. Blowing up some tunnels is one thing, but killing a fella...
A damn salvage killer part of you, Sil. $30 million. Is he worth it? Let's just finish what we came here to do.
It never fails. They move along and leave Johnny there, then we see a mysterious pair of hands drag him away. Elle just analyzed his air sample and learned that the gas is methane and it has to have been put there deliberately. Let's go crash a party.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes.
Your invitation.
Do you mean we were supposed to bring them? Oh, gosh.
Billy should take lessons from her. If you act like you know what you're doing, very few people will challenge you. I've taken advantage of that more than once.
Waiter. Excuse me. Sir, you need some more sandwiches here.
And that's why she crashes parties like this. She gathers food for herself and the others. Billy isn't as good at acting like he knows what he's doing, so the Misfits have to sneak in through the kitchen. For crying out loud, Billy, at least put on a tie, though I'm not sure the tie exists that would go with that shirt.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you're here. The leaky toilet's in the second floor men's room.
See, if you were wearing a tie, you wouldn't get stuff like that.
I know clothes are difficult to find when you're pregnant, but isn't that pushing it a bit?
Or maybe these people are all pompous snobs. We won't get to see the aftermath, which is a major disappointment. I wanted to see what happens when one of those male snobs snapped her bra strap. No, that is not something I approve of guys doing, except in this particular instance. Billy and Elle report to Dick about the methane and insist he has to evacuate the place right now. But Glow just learned that Johnny is down there. If he even makes a little spark, they have to go get him out.
Gina! Hey, we've been looking all over for you.
Okay. Look, so I don't have an invitation. You want to throw me out?
No, Gina, we're friends of Johnny B. He went down into the tunnels looking for you. We gotta find him fast.
It's very dangerous for him to be down there.
You are talking to the wrong person.
Tell her about the methane, you nincompoops. They just keep saying anyone down there is in danger. They can't seem to spit out why. And there are others. Johnny's meeting them.
Who are you? Where's Gina?
The air's better in here. You'll be okay.
They're all runaways, and Gina looks after them. Zach is one of their number, but we won't find out how or why he happened to be off by himself when the Misfits found him. They found this place where they can breathe, but the gas is so thick in the tunnels they can't get out. And Johnny can feel the gas starting to seep in here.
Gina, look. They're all swimming around in a sea of methane down there with a human sparkler. You gotta understand something. I mean, one spark from Johnny B, and we're talking the 4th of July here.
Those guys in masks. I thought they were city guys spraying for cockroaches or something.
It took you long enough to enunciate the word methane. Maybe Glow should do the talking.
Richard's filled me in on this methane stuff, and I think it's ridiculous. You're making a big deal out of nothing. You've always had methane under the city.
Methane that's being pumped in?
What?
Gina said she saw men with gas masks on bleeding tanks into the tunnels.
They're probably just city employees.
And why would city workers be pumping a poisonous, flammable gas into the tunnels, Al? But Gina doesn't want to hang around to learn the answer.
Let's at least do it right and call the professionals. Would you feel better if I called the fire department and had them check it out?
That's a start.
And I'm sure he will, or somebody will, after the explosion, after Johnny and those children are killed so some guy can get some money. Johnny and the kids have to get out of there, but he's the only one who can make it right now. It's not hard to figure out what that is, and by the time he reaches the surface, he'll have a handful of them. But he's sure there are more.
Gina.
They told me you were down here. I didn't believe them.
Gina, we gotta get out of here.
I got some people I gotta see.
I was just there. You'll never make it. There's no air. We gotta get help.
I don't need help.
What are you so afraid of? I mean, you can't live your life solo.
That's the way I do best, okay? The minute you let people in, they start screwing up your life.
It depends on who those people are. She's been burned a few times, and she's determined not to let it happen again. Johnny says, I'm not talking about 2.5 kids in a white picket fence here. I'm just talking about getting me out of here so I can get help for your friends.
Look, maybe not giving a damn works for you, but it doesn't for me. Forget it. I don't need help either.
I gotta get them out of there. Help me.
You are not a rock, you are not an island. You are a human being, and we human beings function best together. Aristotle said man is a political animal. What he meant was we don't do well in isolation, we need other people. Apparently, Gina never read Aristotle, but Johnny's doing a fair job of summarizing the idea for her.
Just get everyone outside, Richard. The tunnel entrance in the basement is filled with gas. We're sitting on a big firecracker.
What can I say? How am I going to break it?
Everybody get out of here! It's gonna be an explosion! Get out!
I think he just said it for you, Richard.
Johnny seems to be good at summarizing a lot of things. The Misfits are ready to head into the tunnels. They have gas masks, extra air bottles, and everything else they need. Gina will show them where the kids are. According to the timers Johnny grabbed, they have 5.5 minutes.
Hey! You can't take that kind of risk, man. Come on.
I'm fine. Give me a mask. Gina, come on.
If they were thinking, they'd close the valves on those methane tanks, but they're not thinking. The museum has been evacuated. There's only one person left.
Here's to the end of an otherwise fabulous career.
I'm pretty sure he says something like that every time the Misfits go on a mission.
What are you doing, Al?
Richard.
Foul play. Just what I needed. Al. Why? Why you? Al, this belongs to you.
It's a matter of pure fact, my old darling. It belongs to the government for the next 99 years.
This way he can sell the stuff on the black market and collect insurance for the loss. And he has to eliminate Richard so he can get away with it.
Gina, look. Is there any kind of large opening out of these tunnels? Something big enough to vent the gas? Serve as a safety valve if it explodes.
Just sewer grates mostly, not very big.
Wait. There's a fountain. About a couple 100 yards from here.
You can't get into it. It's always locked up tight.
She may be forgetting whom she's talking to. Johnny and Gina will get the kids out while Billy, Glow, and Elle go look for the door to this fountain.
They're always locked.
Gina told you it was locked. You expected what?
There's no hole? I thought we needed a hole.
Even so, opening this door will bleed off the gas and the pressure from the explosion to the big grate near the fountain, following the path of least resistance. We just have to get it open. Elle, you're up.
Here goes.
Hit it.
I mean, you're down. I mean, you know what I mean. What I mean is, it's time for you to do that. The doors are still rusted shut, so Billy and Glow will team up to do the rest.
I'm gonna go!
Billy!
Way to go, Glow. Come on, let's go.
They did it. Everyone will get out in time. Billy just has one loose end to tie up.
You should have left with the others, Richard.
You're going to regret this.
You're going to regret this more than I do.
Not really. I've called the police.
And they're going to jump out of their hiding places and yell freeze.
Hopefully.
Freeze!
Not exactly the police, but adequate. His big distraction wound up making a nice light show and destroying a fountain, and sending him and his buddies to prison. I understand his frustration, but there are better ways to right this wrong than methane.
Hey guys! It's home. Let's go!
We are ready.
Everybody, I would like you to meet our new director of Bounce Back, an experimental project for street kids sponsored by Social Services.
All right.
Gina is now in charge of those kids for real, and she can tap into all the help and resources that are available to help them start living instead of just surviving. Billy is still bummed about the tickets in Hawaii.
Coming, Dr. Hayes?
Miss Nance, you wouldn't consider taking me to Hawaii, would you?
Why would she do that? She wants to have an interesting trip, and I'm sorry, Billy, but in her circles, you're just not that interesting.
Oh, sorry, I'm already taking Barry. And Herb.
Barry and Herb? But there are only 2 tickets. Miss Nance? Herb. The Invisible Man.
Told you. Welcome to the cleanest sewers. Mr. Bugner there. I wanted to see what happens when one of those male snobs snapped. Inflect. I'm sorry, sir, you have an inflection. Johnny and the kids have to get out of there, but he's the only one who can make it right now. That was awful, but they're not thinking. Okay, there's more.